Thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. This is the Flow of God's own state. It is still part of our morning show. We call our morning show the Morning Spice right here on the Flow of God's own state. It is the third week in the month of February 2021, and it is the 15th day of the month of February, which is the second month of the year 2021. Thank you very much once again for joining us. This is where we take a critical look at issues as it affect our dear nation Nigeria, and also as it affect our dear state Abia State. The platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. My name is Michael Oni, and this morning we're taking a look at a very critical issue. It happened over the weekend. If you've been following the news, our news and current affairs, and of course, you've been very conversant with what is happening on the social media, you must have seen it. Over the weekend, some persons were arrested after defying the police and, of course, the stern warning from the federal government and the Lagos state government. They were arrested in Lekki, that's at the toll gate, despite the heavy presence of police officers at the Lekki toll gate. Some reports had it that they were numbering over 100. More than that, they were in hundreds. I cannot ascertain that right now. But anyways, the protesters came out. They continued to express their displeasure over the reopening of the Lekki toll gate. Now, that toll gate has been repossessed by the LCC, a Lekki concession company in charge of the toll gate. The police officers, however, could not prevent some of the protesters who had been locked in the Black Maria from airing their resentment. If you followed that on TV, you will see how they were, they were bundled, manhandled also, as we've seen videos also. In fact, Amnesty International even came out and, of course, condemned the arrest and clampdown on peaceful protesters. But then, let me not preempt our analyst this morning. At least 40 persons were arrested, including those who claimed to be passers-by. They were arrested at the Lekki toll gate, and of course, an order to reopen the Lekki toll gate by the Lagos Judicial Panel of Inquiry spurred the Occupy Lekki toll gate movement, with the youth rising to resist the reopening rather. And the youth argued that the reopening of the toll gate is premature, as the investigation into the Lekki shooting incident of October 2020 has not been concluded, and the Lekki toll plaza, which has not been operational since the commencement of the NSAS protest, was completely shut down on the 9th of October 2020 following the shooting of unarmed protesters by persons believed to be officers of the Nigerian army. Well, in response to the Occupy Lekki toll gate, some older youths vowed to defend Lagos in opposition of the planned protest, but this gave birth to a protest and a counter-protest scheduled to hold at Lekki toll gate. That was on Saturday morning. That of Occupy Lekki toll gate held, but it was stopped by the police officers after they arrested a lot of some of the protesters. So anyways, joining me to analyze what happened over the weekend concerning that protest this morning on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions, is Uche Agoru. Uche is a social commentator, a public affairs analyst, and also a journalist. He's the publisher of the News Gazette, of course, an online medium. Good morning to you, Uche.
Yeah, good morning, Mike.
Interesting.
How was your weekend?
Oh, wonderful. And yours?
Yeah, good.
I was shocked to see you over the weekend. I know you're based in Enugu.
I've been around.
All right, interesting. Well, welcome to the platform. Let's look at some of those issues, that defined the nation over the weekend. A particular one. I'm not talking about the security issues now. I'm talking about the Lekki toll gate, the Occupy Lekki Plaza. Let's begin with what led to that. The repossessioning of that toll gate, is it premature, like being said by some of those youths angered by that movement, or do you think it is a right step in the right direction?
I think the major problem we've had with governments in this part of Nigeria, in this part of the world, is insensitivity towards the people. Government has shown huge capacity to be insensitive towards the plight of the people. Now, what happened in Lekki toll gate? Remember, Lekki toll gate was the epicenter of the NSAS
That was where it started.
So that was and that was where most of the killings, that alleged killings, happened. Now, a sensitive government. Yes, government did the right thing by setting up a panel of inquiry. All this panel of inquiry across the states, to look at the agitations of the youth and how to make it not happen again. Now, to me, it is very, very insensitive and premature, given what happened at during the NSAS protest, and the people allegedly killed. The NSAS protesters are saying that they lost so many people, tens and thousands of people at that toll gate. That they shot a lot of people. They said they didn't shoot anybody. But then the panel of inquiry is still sitting. The investigation is still ongoing. And the Lagos State government, the only thing they can do is to go ahead to open that toll gate. Because what they are concerned is about their business interests. They are not concerned about the deaths, the loss of lives that happened there. That people lost their children there, people lost their husbands, people lost their relatives, their loved ones were.
Those issues are still being contested at the judicial panel of inquiry.
They should have waited for it to be concluded. The army is saying they did not shoot anybody. Nobody. The state government said nobody lost. That there was no lives lost at that toll gate. To the point that even minister for works and housing picked up a camera at the toll gate. The camera he picked up, nobody has shown us the content of that camera till date.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, the investigation is still ongoing. People are still grieved. People are still angry. These boys are saying, the protesters are saying, we lost friends, we lost relatives, we lost brothers, we lost sisters, we lost parents there. You cannot just go and open that place for the government to start trading when we are still mourning. Why not wait till the conclusion of that protest?
That was contested, and they had a majority. The majority actually had their say at the panel, the judicial panel established by the Lagos State government to probe the brutality. Now, what happened? 5 of the 9-member panel voted to return the control of tollgate to Lekki Concession Company.
Yes.
5 of them.
Yes.
And the panel, in its ruling, decided that it will not take that ground and will only maintain control until its forensic experts conclude his report. And the report is ready, as the panel has been satisfied, therefore, and the assurances from the forensic team are pointing out that it will no longer require any visit to the plaza. So since there were no need to visit the plaza the panel decided that it will not await the termination of the petitioners before handing over the control of Lekki tollgate to LCC. So these were some of the reasons given by the panel. Now let's look at the economic implication. People earn their means through that Lekki tollgate. There are dependents, there are secondary dependents from some of those people working there. Let's look at the date from that angle. That Lekki tollgate, the LCC company, they pay tax to the Lagos State government, and they are not. They are losing on the daily. So what else do they want? I mean, the protesters, do they want, despite having this issue still ongoing at the Lagos State Judicial Panel of Inquiry?
What the most reasonable thing to have been done at this point is look at it from this angle. Yes, you are, but in as much as they have decided to reopen the panel voted in favor of LCC getting by the control of the president and starting the business. But then the major issue, which is being contestable, being contested, is whether people lost their lives at the toll gate.
Which forensic examination has been done.
Yes.
And has been submitted.
Yes.
So they said there are no reasons to visit the plaza again.
No, that does not answer whether people lost their lives there or not. They said there's no reason for visit. Yes, they have concluded the investigation in that area. The result is not yet out. They have not told us what they arrived at. The public does not know at this moment what they arrived at. The people are still saying we lost lives there.
All right.
The protest say we love slice there. And you are only interested in opening your business. Why not wait? Why not conclude? Why not bring out the report first? Then let's contest the report and say yes, you can go ahead and open your
beyond this is actually the background of the issue now that led to the protest that took place on Saturday, and that led to the arrest of several youths, which also led to they were later bailed. Before they were bailed, they were allegedly manhandled by the officers of the Nigerian police force. Now let's look at the issue of the protest. Before that protest, Lagos state government came out and gave a stern warning against gathering. Now, the Minister of Information also said the government will not wait and sit down while watching people, while watching a replication of what happened at the first wave of the NSAS protests. So, do you think that the protesters challenged the powers of the government? Despite the warning, they went there. Defied the warning. The protesters still went to protest.
You cannot stop the will of the people. That's what you cannot stop. No matter how hard you try to press them down. No matter how you try to press them, they have a reason. You have not addressed their reason, and you are warning them. You are trying to shut them down by force. You're trying to stop them by force. The police, when they are initially, to go and do show of force, they went there to do show of force, around that to get warning. There will be protesters not to come around that place. Look, Mike, one thing that the government has not learned, one thing they have not learned, one thing that I think these governments, they are bad students of history. They have not learned from what happened in the past. The Occupy, the hashtag NSAS protest would have taught them a very big lesson. That when the people are determined, you cannot stop them. When the people are determined, you cannot stop them. You can only kill people. That's what you do. The more you kill, the more people come. We have seen it happen. Look at what happened at the NSAS protest. Now you still went ahead to do something again that you didn't succeed in doing the first time.
Another angle I want us to look at is the area of trampling on the freedom of protest, which is actually enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But anyways, I want us to throw the lines open. I will continue the conversation with you this morning. The lines are very much open. A very critical issue in our nation, Nigeria. Talking about the freedom of expression, the freedom of protest, being allegedly trampled upon by the federal government is what we're looking at vis-a-vis the Occupy Lekki toll gate protest that took place over the weekend in Lagos State. It is the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions right here on Flow 94.9 FM. What do you make of the protest? Do you think the protesters were right to defy the stern warnings given by both the federal government and the state government, that's Lagos state government, and of course moving on to go for protest? And of course, what do you think about the arrest, the police arrest, and of course the alleged manhandling of the protesters and dehumanizing them? And in fact, a very popular comedian was also arrested, Mr. Macaroni. 0808-182-6949 or 0811 605-2949. Hello, good morning to you. We lost that. Keep your calls coming. 0808-182-6949 or 0811-605-2949. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
You're welcome. Welcome to the platform.
Thank you. Ugonna from Omobia.
You're welcome, Ugonna.
Yeah. Regarding the issue being discussed, personally, there is really nothing wrong about protest. It's guaranteed under the Constitution and it's within the rights of Nigerians. The Lekki people have been suffering for a while, that we know. But I've been wondering, assuming that considering that Lekki toll gate is opened, would it bring back the dead? No. The closure so far has somehow assuaged this suffering and grief of the families concerned. While the case lasts, why don't we allow the tolling and the toll gate to continue so that these business people can continue with their businesses? Like you rightly mentioned, there are people who earn a living from there. Lagos State too is involved. So the business can continue. At the end of the day, if there is fines or whatever to be paid, I think it's the same company that will pay it, and it's from the profit they make that they will pay. But that is not to say that we are insensitive to the plight of the people or that we are not grieving with people who have lost their lives. But this issue of force, I think the government must find a way to understand that what we currently operate is a democratic government, not the military. Every little thing you see army, you see police, you see people have handled, carried, and that is not the way to run this our democracy. So let the government be sensitive to the plight of the masses and understand the kind of government that we currently run. That is my submission.
All right, thank you, Eric, for your submission. Rather, have a nice day. Also, hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Good morning, my brother and sister, Mr. Meka. Good morning, sir.
It's Uche, not Emeka.
All right, Uche, Miss Uche, Honorable Uche, good morning, sir.
Right.
Good morning.
Happy New Week to all of you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Prince Will Oswago.
Yes, I remember Mr. Prince Will Oswago from here, no Monaco. My brother, there is a saying that says, whoever that is made peaceful move, unattainable, makes violence as inevitable. What am I telling you this? The protest move, that is peaceful protest. I'm not saying a violent one, but a peaceful protest is enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria, and it must be enshrined in the act of democracy. But here the government is telling us that it is wrong. So to me, I can see the end of that Lekki panel. I was keenly in watching that panel. Believe you me, 2 days to the issue out of the judgment. They said that since Burata has been removed, that they should not look into that Lekki act, which is very, very bad. I was not happy that I heard that from that panel, that sitting panel. But today, look at what he's telling us. The protesters has every right to protest, to show their grievances. And believe you me, justice has not taken place in that Lekki act. How can you tell me that somebody is being killed in that Lekki, and you are telling us that Lekki should be relieved of people to be going, free and fair? It is wrong, my brother.
All right, quickly wrap up the thoughts, Mr. Prince.
You can't kill my brother with a machete and use that machete without giving a justice for another work. My brother, it is quite wrong. So let government think twice. That's my thing. God bless you.
Thank you very much for your take. Let's get more reactions on the phone lines. Hello, good morning to you. Interesting. Thank you very much. Keep your calls coming. Let me head back to Mr. Uche now. Just a moment. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello.
Yes, you're welcome. Move away from your radio set, please.
Hello, good morning, Mike.
You're welcome.
My name is Sir Vincent. I'm based in Omaha.
You're welcome, Sir Victor.
Sir Vincent. Thank you. You see, it's really unfortunate the way we handle the issues here, especially the various agencies like the military, the police, as it affects the ordinary man in our society. What is the issue all about? Peaceful protest is allowed. It is said in our constitution. If there is a situation that warrants peaceful protest, just like the ESTA, what the police is supposed to do is to ensure they guide and protect them. And what happened yesterday, I watched it. These young men and young ladies, we are not violent. And if you see the kind of force and how arms the police wear and the way they were molested, you start asking, are we at all in a democratic setting? The government should always try to ensure that people are allowed to exercise their fundamental human rights and engage our people, the youth, and peaceful protesters in dialogue and ensure that they show faithfulness and trustworthy in their discussion with people. It's because when government discusses with these people, they don't keep to whatever agreement that is reached. So whatever that is going on, the government should turn around a new leaf and know how to handle such issues amicably. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, let's me return to my analyst in the studio, Uche Agoro. Now, looking at this protest, what do you think will be the way forward to douse the tension? Because the youths seem to be well aggrieved with the way government is going about the whole situation, and it looks like there might not be an end to this issue. To the issue of the youths being aggrieved about the governance. It has moved even beyond police reform and everything to end bad governance. Now, what do you think will be a lasting solution to this issue between the government and the youths?
Mike, let's start from what is still on ground now, which is the Occupy
Lekki toll gate.
The recent one that happened. Has eba na agwa anya ani eti yose. What it simply means is where a doctor who treats eye problems does not add pepper to the drugs he's going to use that he's going to apply in your eyes. Oh,
that was quoted by Enyinaya Baribe, senator on the floor of the Senate. That was last year.
It's an Igbo proverb.
Yes.
Now let me tell you. The police, the government, our government and its agencies have not respected the liberty and rights of the people. That is one thing. To protest, peaceful protest is a right of a people. You cannot deny them that. These boys that came there, they didn't come with a knife, they didn't come with guns. They only came with their placards and demanding that don't open this place until you conclude the inquiries and show the world report.
Now, they were charged to a mobile court. We have a quarantine law signed by Mr. President prohibiting a gathering of more than 50 persons, which, according to the court,
the police said they violated COVID-19 protocol.
They violated COVID-19 protocol.
But in this same nation, in this same country, even as you speak now, go to NIN. Go to NMC office in Lagos. Go to NMC office anywhere around the federation. You will see over 2,000 people gathered in one spot. They didn't violate COVID-19 protocol. They don't violate COVID-19 protocol. All of a sudden, you see political rallies going on everywhere. They never violated COVID-19 protocol. You see burials, you see ceremonies, you see high class government functions. With over 500, 1,000 people in attendance, they didn't violate government protocol. We saw our president in the open without mask. So he opened in the public without mask. He never violated the COVID-19 protocol. But because of government interests, because government has an interest, because what these boys are doing is simply going against the interest of the government.
There was a warning given.
There was a
warning given that violence would not be allowed, and there were intelligence that it might be hijacked, just like the first wave of the protest was hijacked by hoodlums.
As at the point, those boys were arrested and police turned violent on them. Did they display any atom of violence? Was there any sign of violence from their protest? It was peaceful. The pictures are there. The video is all over the place. It was the police that introduced violence. It was the police that went violent, strapping some of them naked, beating them up, handcuffing them. Boys of peaceful citizens of peaceful protest are there. In advanced nations, what the police would have done is to give them protection, escort them, make sure that that all their activities were beyond the limits of the law, and that it did not escalate into violence. That's what the police is supposed to have done.
Let's get more reactions now on our Facebook page, where we are running visuals of what is happening in the studio. Also, Francis says, watching live from Enugu, the joy of any democratic principle is equity, fairness, and justice. Let's get more reactions on the phone lines. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Michael.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is another thank you for the attention. It's only for my association.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. We're a little bit hard on federal government. So I think examples of certain examples of even President Buhari violating COVID-19. The media aides they told us that the president only removed his mask to talk to the microphone. So now, what I'm saying is this. The Lekki project should be opened. Yes, we lost some use on October 20, allegedly, or many just say allegedly, because it has not even been confirmed. But then we lost use on 20th of October to last year. But that does not mean that the place will be closed forever. And it does not mean that if we open the Lekki project, the evidence will be read completely. No, the investigation will still continue. So please. And moreover, government has said that if we continue with this protest, there's that tendency that some Muslims will hijack it. The protest was peaceful on Saturday because that is held on Saturday. Assuming the protest continues for 2 days, just like the first wave of protest, continues for up to 2 weeks. At a point, you will find out that some hoodlums will hijack you, even if you have policemen here. The hoodlums will come and attack the policemen and hijack the whole thing. And there will be problems. So we start having another curfew. Government is starting to curfew again. Everybody should, because of violence. We don't want that situation again. So please, the youth, I'm begging the youth, please.
All right.
Let them forget about
Thank you.
About the protest for now.
Thank you for your contribution. All right. Good morning to you. Welcome to the platform.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
It's Ikechukwu calling from Umaya.
All right, Ikechukwu.
You know, this situation, I don't normally welcome panels. You know, the problem with us in this country, we are too technically pursuing justice. Because panel cannot give you justice. The victims of Lekki Tollgate, NSA protester as a committee should have taken the matter up to court of competent jurisdiction and demand immediate prosecution. In the United States, in advanced country, this country cannot happen. In Nigeria, what they do when government commits crime, they look at the international communities where they set up a panel and cover up. At the end, cabinet will do recommendation. Our recommendations of the panel can be 1 out of 1 million. If everybody wants to implement it, you know what I'm telling you. So, issue of opening the tollgate is angered. They have the right to say you can't open that tollgate because the victims have not been compensated. The victims have not got justice. It seems like you can just do anything. It is a kind of kudos to any other government can commit atrocity and get away with it. It's not too late. It's still a crime. People were killed. Corpses were taken out. Deposited in mortuary. When the discussion was going, they were taken away to somewhere else. And the CNN have the footage and reported it. Widely known. The Nigerian judicial system is colliding with the federal executive. Instead of them to take the matter to court competent jurisdiction and apply justice, because this is a murder. They are now setting up a panel. Then we should take the matter to ICC, International Criminal Court, where warrant arrest can be issued to Brutal. The Brutal cannot escape it. Even serving presidents have been arrested with warrant arrest.
Right.
Here,
Quickly wrap up the thoughts.
Hello, I'm talking. Even what this guy, the Abashis, whoever Milosevic Kosovo, even Buhari can be placed on warrant arrest by Interpol. So whatever ambassador appointment can never immune you from any arrest when you commit anything that has to do with the wholesome global crime that pattern on genocide.
All right.
And in violation of human rights.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Well, it was also said that some passers-by were also arrested that Saturday morning in Lagos, Lekki Tollgate Plaza in Lagos, and it's been subject of discourse in several platforms in the country right now. And the issue of clamping down on protesters committing human rights offenses is another area we need to talk about this morning. Uche Agoru, what do you think about this? And what are those things that if you ascertain that a government has trampled on the issue of human rights and of course trampled on your human right, what are the opportunities available for you to challenge that?
Yes, there are opportunities available for you to challenge that in the court of competent jurisdiction.
Okay.
Where you can challenge your rights. But the problem we have here is that it is usually the government that goes against the right of the people, present. And when they do that, the courts, how government does not even listen to court. They obey the judgments they choose to obey. Our Nigerian government obeys whatever judgment they choose to obey. And that one that favors them.
A warning was given that they should not gather at that point. That was on Saturday. The Minister of Information also warned that
you want people
Mohammed,
not to protest over their rights.
Gather.
Not to further protest on their rights. You are warning people not to protest over an injustice that they seem that was meted to them. You are warning them not to protest, not to gather, not to protest. Now just take a very look at, because one of the reasons they gave here, the police gave for arresting the protesters violation of COVID-19 protocols. Most of the policemen I've seen here are not to be wearing face masks. Most of them that I'm seeing here are not wearing face masks. Look at this one. He's not wearing face mask. Most of them look at this one. Is he wearing any mask? Now these are people who are going to arrest people for violating for the COVID-19 protocol. Who are from my belief have already violated the protocol, the protocol, and went against the law, the executive order enacted by Mr. President. So is it not illegality on top of illegality?
All right, interesting times. But they've been granted bail of 100,000 naira each, of course, after facing a mobile court put in place by the Lagos State government concerning coronavirus, and also the case has been adjourned till sometimes in March. I can't remember the specific date now, but we'll relay that with you or that's later this evening on the State of the Nation. But let's take more calls, get more reactions, and of course chart a way forward. What will be the end to this? It seems an endless protest by aggrieved Nigerian youths concerning the alleged killings that took place on the 20th of October 2020 at Lekki. 0808 182 6949 or 0811 605 2949. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're welcome. What's your name, please?
Ben, I'm calling from Akwa Ibom State.
All right, welcome all the way from Akwa Ibom. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. I want to talk about that.
Wow. If you can call back. Hello, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Welcome to the platform.
My name is Sunday.
Okay, Sunday, can you please move away from your radio set?
That's done.
Thank you.
I'm calling in respect to what you're discussing online now, and I just want to make the people understand the reason why those guys on the field on the 13th of February, which is on Saturday. A crime scene is still under investigation, and the toll gate is being opened, which is totally wrong. The people are clamoring that let the justice be prevailed. 20th of October is a day that every one individual will need to remember if the person is a true Nigerian. I'm a youth. I understand what happened on the 20th, and I was there. I'm calling from Umaya precisely, and I was there what happened. I still remember everything and vividly. They choose the toolkit more than the life of the people that was lost. This is the same government we clamor for every day and every night for a better Nigeria, but they refuse to understand everything that is going on. Every protocol that was observed on the 13th of February on the COVID aspect, it was followed. Even Macron himself that was there on that Saturday. Every guidelines, if you listen to the voice message he posted on YouTube on 6-minute video, it mentioned that he knew that people would die, but it's just a figure mouth speech, just to make sure that even if people are going to die, he wants to be among the people that is going to die that Saturday. But the police came out, is talking about COVID guidelines that are not even followed, and which is totally wrong. We saw what happened. But we know that this country, if you had an opportunity, I won't lie to you, everybody needs to just leave this country for good. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your contribution. Some sort of eyewitness report there.
We are not abandoning this country for anybody.
All right. Uche, let's step out of the studio already. Our time is fast spent. Thank you very much for your analysis. But definitely, one of the reasons we have this kind of program on radio is to chart a way forward. And of course, give an advice to the government. And of course, those... the NSAS protesters also, the aggrieved Nigerian youths. So what is the way forward? What do you think will be some sort of alternative dispute resolution between the government and the aggrieved Nigerian youths?
If I am to be, if I'm to be in charge, somehow, what I would do is to make sure that those things that cause these problems are dispensed with. Those issues that these boys are raising, you cannot be insensitive to the plight of to a people and you expect them to be civil. It's not proper. It's not right. It cannot happen. Now, what has happened? What has happened that these boys think that the government is not being sincere to them. They said it, that the government, that even the panel is not being sincere. Now they are still alleging that people died, that they lost their friends, their comrades. Then what you're interested in is to go and open the toll gate. It's unfair. Why can't government just calm down a little, dispense of this, as quickly as possible, come out with this thing, then the boss can go ahead to challenge it in court if they want to challenge it in court. But by that time you must have done your job. Then you now deploy the civil society, some religious organizations, and for them to engage these people and see the way and chart the way forward and pay compensation when necessary. So that what they're crying for is justice. You're not doing justice. You want to start your business. It's not fair.
Uche Agoru, time is fast.
Make sure that justice is done to each and everybody in this nation for the country to move forward.
All right, Uche. Thank you very much for your contribution. Uche is the editor-in-chief of the News Gazette. It's an online platform. Thank you very much for being part of the program this morning and also for your analysis. Join us top of the hour for Abia State COVID-19 updates. Don't forget. We will be back on Wednesday when we bring up another issue, of course, on the platform, the pinnacle of all discussions. Many thanks to the producer, Samson Eze, and of course, Samson's associate, as associate producer, Uyai Jimmy, and also the guys behind the visuals you're seeing on our Facebook page, Solomon and Stanley. Do enjoy the rest of your day. My name is Michael Oni.